The latter rain is falling now. Christians throughout time have eagerly anticipated the latter rain. Be glad then, ye children of Zion, and rejoice in Yahuwah your Elohah, for he hath given you the former rain moderately, and he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, and the latter rain in the first month. Joel 2 verse 23, King James Version. The early rain was given at Pentecost, and was an incredible demonstration of divine love and power. It enabled the early church to take the gospel message to the then known world in a single generation. Many Christians expect the outpouring of the Holy Spirit in latter rain power to cleanse them of sin and get them ready to take the closing gospel message to the world. And it will, just not in the way most are expecting. Deuteronomy contains an overlooked verse that reveals the latter rain is quite different than what has been expected, and it is already being poured out. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as a small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Deuteronomy 32, verses 1-2, King James Version. According to the word of Yahuwah, recorded in Deuteronomy, the latter rain is much more than power to speak convincingly. It is doctrine. The Holy Spirit is given to instruct. Yahushua clearly explained this when he said, I tell you the truth, it is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him unto you. And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin, and of righteousness, and of judgment. I have yet many things to say unto you, but ye cannot bear them now. Howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. And he will show you things to come. John 16, verses 7-8, and 12-13, King James Version. The Holy Spirit is poured out in latter rain power to educate the humble learner in the truths of heaven. The latter rain, then, is new light. In order for the soul to be purified of sin, in order for the remnant to take the last invitation of mercy to the world, in order for any to be ready to meet Yahushua when he comes, more truth is needed. Yahuwah knows this. He has lovingly provided the latter rain to teach the final generation what they need to know in order to get ready for heaven. Truths buried under layers of ignorance, superstition, and man-made traditions are restored under the life-giving showers of the latter rain. And this is already happening. The Father never disappoints his children when they hunger and thirst for rays of divine light. Infinite love withholds no truth that will strengthen and equip the soul on its earthly journey. Yahushua declared, Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Matthew 5, verse 6, King James Version. Yahuwah rewards those who diligently seek for greater light. Those who value and follow truth regardless of the cost reap rich spiritual rewards. Yahuwah deepens their love for truth with new rays of light from his throne of grace. Such marvelous spiritual gifts, however, bring with them tremendous spiritual responsibility. It is the individual's duty to share with others what has been learned. It is also his privilege to continue to study out still more truth. Those who cling to old customs and hoary errors have lost sight of the fact that light is ever increasing upon the path of all who follow Yahushua. Truth is constantly unfolding to the people of Yah. We must be continually advancing if we are to follow our leader. It is when we walk in the light that shines upon us, obeying the truth that is open to our understanding, that we receive greater light. We cannot be excusable in accepting only the light which our fathers had 100 years ago. If our God-fearing fathers had seen what we see and heard what we hear, they would have accepted the light and walked in it. If we desire to imitate their faithfulness, we must receive the truths open to us, as they received those presented to them. We must do as they would have done had they lived in our day. Ellen G. White, Historical Sketches, page 197. For far too long, the Christian churches have been content with the light they inherited from earlier generations. The Roman Catholic Church is the oldest of the organized denominations. She boasts of her ancient traditions and bases many of her doctrines on nothing other than the teachings of the Church Fathers. How does this differ from the rabbinical teachings of the elders that Yahushua so soundly denounced? The denominations that arose out of the Protestant Reformation embraced the precious rays of heavenly light given the Reformers. However, the second and third generations of Protestants were content with the light gained by their parents and grandparents. They did not continue to seek more truth. Likewise, the various post-Protestant Reformation denominations that arose in the 19th century progressed beyond what the Protestant Reformers accepted as truth. The Seventh-day Baptists accepted the Seventh-day Sabbath and shared it with the Seventh-day Adventists. The Mormons embraced healthful living. The Jehovah's Witnesses sought for Yahuwah's true name and rejected all the pagan holidays. The Seventh-day Adventists studied out the vast truths of the sanctuary and the lessons it has to teach about the plan of salvation. But every single one of these denominations has repeated the mistakes of the past, and they too have stalled. They have not continued to advance in the light. Various independent ministries have been raised up to spread truth in the wake of the Church's failures to do so. These ministries have faithfully shared the light given them, but almost without exception, they have chosen to cling to their one ray of light. They have refused to follow on and study out still more truth. Worse, like the various denominations before them, most independent ministries have taught their followers to reject any light beyond what was entrusted to them. This is an incredible tragedy because advancing in the light is a prerequisite for receiving the latter rain. Only those who are living up to the light they have will receive greater light. Unless we are daily advancing in the exemplification of the active Christian virtues, we shall not recognize the manifestations of the Holy Spirit in the latter rain. It may be falling on hearts all around us, but we shall not discern or receive it. E. G. White, Testimonies to Ministers, page 507. Religious leaders are well aware that new light often contradicts some established doctrine of the organization that pays their salary. It is in their best interests to reject all new light, so they do. When new church members go to their pastors asking if a new concept is true, these compromised leaders denounce it as error. They warn that it is sent from Satan to lead them astray. Why are these people asking man and not Yahuwah? The Father has graciously invited all to come to Him for wisdom. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yah, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. James 1 verse 5, King James Version. To receive new and deeper light, each truth seeker must lay aside human authorities and every preconceived assumption, and be willing to obey new truths. Lay at the door of investigation your preconceived opinions and your hereditary and cultivated ideas. You will never reach the truth if you search the scriptures to vindicate your own ideas. Leave these at the door, and, with a contrite heart, go in to hear what Yahuwah has to say. Do not carry your creed to the Bible and read the Word in the light of your former opinions. Do not try to make everything agree with your creed. Search the Word carefully and prayerfully with a mind free from prejudice. If, as you read, conviction comes, and you see that your most cherished opinions are not in harmony with the Word, do not try to make the Word fit these opinions. Make your opinions fit the Word. Do not allow what you have believed or practiced in the past to control your understanding. Open the eyes of your mind to behold wondrous things out of the law. Find out what is written, and then plant your feet on the eternal rock. Ellen G. White, Manuscript Releases, number 209, pages 431 to 432. Heaven's truths are to be diligently sought for. These are to be carefully studied and eagerly accepted. Not a single gem of truth, no matter how small and seemingly insignificant, is to be carelessly laid aside or discarded. All are to be gathered together, cherished and obeyed. It is the responsibility of every true believer to 1. Search for truth, 2. Accept the truth given, and 3. Live a life in conformity to revealed light. To be fully accepted, truth must be obeyed. And it is when the heart determines to obey that the soul is sanctified. Obedience sanctifies the soul. This is an extremely important point. New concepts, acted upon, become foundational principles. These foundational principles in turn become part of the attitudes and beliefs of the individual. The attitudes and beliefs form the thoughts and feelings, and it is the thoughts and feelings that form the character. Character is the only thing taken to heaven. No one can risk shunning the smallest ray of light, because each one lays the foundation for still greater light that leads to obedience and sanctifies the soul. Even the first step back from fully embracing truth puts the soul at risk. Accepting new light opens the soul to receive still more truths from heaven. This journey began in 2000 for the WLC team with a conviction to flee all fallen and apostate organizations. Since that time, Yahuwah has generously poured out upon WLC his heavenly showers in the following chronological order. Year 2002, the urgent necessity to leave the cities. Year 2005, rejection of the Roman Catholic Trinity doctrine. Year 2006, the true interpretation of the 7 kings of Revelation 17 and their timeline. Year 2009, the calendar of creation and discarding the counterfeit Gregorian calendar. The true weekly cycle is not continuous. The ancient biblical Sabbath. The true time a day begins. The gift of new moon days. The need to reject the pagan holidays of Christmas and Easter. The enduring nature of Yahuwah's feasts. Year 2010. The final battle is over worship. The knowledge of the Father's and the Son's true names, and the privilege of calling on them. Deeper understanding of the seal of Yah. Clearer comprehension of the mark of the beast. Year 2011. The complete fulfillment of the 7 trumpets of Revelation is future and not past. The biblical count to the Feast of Pentecost. Year 2012. The biblical beginning of the year. Year 2013. Greater light and deepening abhorrence of the role Jesuits have played in fighting against truth since their establishment in 1540. True identity of the Antichrist and presence in the world today. Year 2015. Understanding the freedom Yahuwah gave on the subject of baptism, as inspired by the experience of the Anabaptists. Year 2016. The true shape and position of the earth. True interpretation of Daniel 11 and 12 and the imminence of the close of probation. Understanding the connection between the King of the North and 7 kings of Revelation 17. Understanding Genesis 6 verses 1 to 4 and the subject of Nephilim as it vindicates Yahuwah's unfailing love. Knowledge of Israel today and its deceptive status. The link between the Jesuits and the globe deception. The hidden agenda behind the diabolical Trinity doctrine. The final hoax as based on the globe-earth deception. New light is not something to fear. It is a tremendous gift. Accepted and obeyed, it prepares the heart for heaven. Seek and pray for new light. The best proof that Yahuwah is leading you is that He is still teaching you new truths. Examine your own heart. What new light have you received? Make sure that you have accepted all the light available and plead for more. The latter rain is being poured out. The truths available today are of the utmost importance to your soul because it is this light that is preparing you to meet Yahushua in peace when He comes. And He is almost here.